The Super Media Bros podcast is a founding member of the OddPods Media Network.
Super Media Bros.
So our boy is back, and people be hating already, and Dave Meltzer's gonna just use all this as clickbait as much as he can.
Which is so weird because it's like, dude, come on. You were at the fucking Brawl Out Media Scrum, and whenever he brought your name into it, Dave, what did I do? You tell me. Yeah, good comeback. Fuck.
Welcome to episode 281 of the Super Media Bros podcast. I'm Richie.
I'm Devin.
We're here to talk about CM Punk's return at AEW Collision, which is the new Saturday night program from All Elite Wrestling, and also to give some Forbidden Door predictions at the ass in the conversation. Let's get right into it. So AEW Saturday Collision, right off the bat, looks very throwback to WCW Monday Nitro as far as the color scheme goes. I dig the red rope on the fucking ring. I dig the entire color scheme of the setup. It looks very vibrant. It looks action-packed. And dare I say, it feels bigger than Dynamite in a way?
Do you mean like structure-wise?
Yes.
Okay. Because like, first of all, I love the intro music, Elton John and everything. That was pretty fucking cool.
That was a fucking nice touch. I was not expecting it. And
I didn't either.
What a great, like, Saturday Night's all right for fighting is so bomb anyway, and just that chef's kiss.
And the thing is like, I don't have like true to form cable. I use YouTube TV. And so whenever it kicked on, you know, I was streaming it on my phone because I was still working. I was like, fuck, god damn it, fucking phone, piece of shit. I thought it was just my Apple Music.
Yeah.
But no, audio was fine. As far as it feeling bigger than Dynamite, I wouldn't say that. I just feel like you can tell that Punk has some form of helping hand in the booking. And so it feels more of professional wrestling of old. Whether you love today's product overall or if you like the old school shit, like there is a noticeable tonal difference and structure, layout, etc.
Bryan Danielson is also on creative for this now.
That makes sense too. Okay.
I gotta say, it was really good to see CM Punk come back for a multitude of reasons, like one of which if you go all the way out to our All Out Fallout episode, I, at that moment, had serious doubts that he would come back, but I was optimistic that he eventually would. And here we are about a year later, and he's back, and he spit some fire on this fucking promo.
Yeah, he did.
Boy, brought out his fucking championship belt in a red bag, which I thought that was a fucking ace move to not have the belt on display.
Right. No, I really like that because it's not... He is showing respect to MJF for doing that. Also, just the little thing where he took off the fucking AEW banner off the mic before he even started talking.
That was a nice little touch because at one point in WWE, he started to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because like you can take it as this CM Punk run feels like it's going to be very much, let's go ahead and just blur the lines of what is scripted and what's not scripted, which is what's going to draw your audience in. Because even what he was saying in the ring, I was like, okay, he's definitely going off the cuff here, but I can tell you right now that he probably had his ceiling, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't stop him from being smart about it. Like the fact that he brought up the Warner Discovery CEO.
Yes.
The counterfeit Bucks line was fucking genius. And I was like, that's great. But then again, Dave Meltzer being and I'm going to go ahead and just say, I don't give a fuck. Dave Meltzer being the Young Bucks dick sucker that he is. I swear to God, Dave has such a vendetta against him, and Brian Alvarez both have such a fucking agenda against CM Punk. It's not even funny.
And it's sad because, like, beef aside with CM Punk, I like the Young Bucks. I mean, fuck, like, so many of my high school memories were trying to get whatever NJPW match I could find, you know, like, I was broke as shit, so I didn't have any subscriptions to anything. So just whatever clips, really. Same with Kenny. You know, I love Kenny Omega. I love everybody involved in this shit. So, like, I mean, I'm not picking sides here. It's just like, guys, can you just admit it now that, like, the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like there's still some NDAs that are out, like some non-disclosures.
Oh, yeah, and that's not going away. I do not think that we are ever going to hear the full story unless, for some reason, the company goes belly up.
Yeah, or one of them gets subsequently released from their contract, which would, like, nullify.
Is that how that works? I didn't know.
I don't think it does, but I feel like in this case, if it were Phil, and I don't know him as Phil personally, so if it was Punk leaving, I seriously doubt he would hold his tongue. I feel like it's at this point he's trying to be like the bigger person and do business because he's the one that's been reaching out and trying to like work with people, and it seems as though the Elite are not. And you can tell, like, I hate to say this, but you can tell between the two who's got the bigger ego.
Mm-hmm. Well, from the ESPN article, you can even kind of tell that, like, Punk doesn't seem to have too big a beef with the Bucks or Omega. Less so Omega, more so Bucks, but his real beef is with Hangman.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, dude, the shit that he called Paige out for is justified.
Dude, if this is to be believed, and I mean, we're not in the room, we don't know, but like, if it's to be believed, Adam Page is kind of a dumb fuck, for real.
Yeah.
Like, how are you close with Kenny, like, to the point of, like, oh yeah, that's one of my best friends, you know? And you didn't know that Colt Cabana was working alongside him for the video game advertisement, or that he just switched brands, or how do you not know this?
I don't know, but also Adam Page is younger, and you know, I would consider all this to be like maybe it's a learning curve here with him, but either way, CM Punk came back, cut a fire ass promo in the ring, then went on to have a fucking great 6-man tag with FTR versus Samoa Joe and Bullet Club Gold, which, let me tell you, for those of you out there that don't know, if you were watching this program, and I'd be surprised if you didn't know this, if you're watching this specific program, because in my opinion, All Elite Wrestling is 100% for like the diehard pro wrestling fan.
Yeah. When
Samoa Joe and CM Punk got in the fucking ring together at the same time, and it had been a fucking long time. Like, I want to say Kevin Kelly or Nigel McGuinness said it was like over 5,000 days or some shit since they've been in the fucking ring together. Which, by the way, the commentary team is supposed to be Kevin Kelly, Nigel McGuinness, and Jim Ross. And oh boy, I'll get to that in a second. But the match itself, being the main event, was fucking phenomenal. It was fire as hell. I noticed they're sticking Punk in a lot of tag team matches going forward to kind of like get him, you know, his footing back, because he does have his first one-on-one match in the Owen Hart tournament at the pay-per-view at Forbidden Door.
And boy, do I have an opinion, but we'll get there.
Yeah, like we'll get there shortly. The match was great. CMFTR goes over, obviously. I'm gonna touch on the commentary team real briefly. I like Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
Jim Ross fell on his goddamn face again, and I think his voice was blown, because he actually apologized on Twitter and was like, I'm stepping away to heel. And I'm like, fuck, man, you kind of need to step away, period. Like, I
offer help and assistance in the back.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's definitely better used backstage at this point, because I feel like if you don't include Ross and you have a different commentary team on here, it gives it a different feel altogether, because we get Shivani and Taz and Excalibur on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, you know, a 4-man booth sometimes on fucking Rampage. because Jericho does commentary on there too. This is the Ring of Honor announced team doing Collision. And it's good.
Oh, yeah, it is. And, dude, and the thing with JR is, I mean, he's not useless. He still has a lot to offer the business.
Yes.
Maybe not with his voice, like, dude, you're an older man now, we get it. You're not going to be as quick. You're going to be more irritable. You're going to be, like, do you think that there isn't a single wrestling fan in the world that's like, man, fucking JR just giving up?
No, man, that motherfucker has put his time in. Like, I'm sitting here saying he needs to go away because, like, he's become what he has said about McMahon at one point, how this was a while back. Jim Ross at one point said that even though he did have a lot of respect for Vince, he felt like his finger was not on the pulse anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jim's finger is on that pulse anymore either, to be very honest. No. And it's not saying, like, fuck Jim Ross. I'm not even on a fuck Jim Ross rant. I'm sitting here like, I think Jim Ross has put his fucking time in and he needs to bow out gracefully.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Been around since before I was even fucking born.
Yeah, no shit. The other matches were pretty fucking fire too. I thought Buddy Matthews and Andrade El Idolo had such a fucking badass match.
Dude, and this the other thing too is like you can definitely tell that Punk and Bryan are steering some form of ship here because and I'm not like, dude, I'm from this current generation. Like I'm not poo-pooing on current wrestling by any stretch. I'm just pointing out the differences here. How many super kicks did you see this whole show?
I know. I was so excited to not fucking see that as much. In fact, I was very excited to see some psychology.
That's where I was going with this. Psychology, selling. Like everybody was selling to the point where I was like, these motherfuckers actually hurt.
Let me tell you this. Even though Andrade just returned, there were a couple of times I thought he was going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, Miro came back, he's winning. Oh, Andrade came back, he's winning. Oh, CM Punk came back, he's winning. I don't want to do that. Yeah. In fact, my ass would be the type of booker that's like, all right, you're back on TV. You've just made this triumphant fucking return. You're going to lose because we're going to throw everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's too predictable at this point. They had me.
It was wonderful. There was, I mean, obviously it's Andrade and Buddy Matthews. There are going to be some flips. But that was another thing, too, is like, you didn't have like a flip fest, And again, I'm not shitting on what we get on Dynamite. We've both been hardcore Dynamite boys forever, since the show started. I mean, fuck.
4 years.
Yeah, so we're not like flip-flopping or anything. It's just we like variety.
Sure.
And this is a different match, but just to drive it home even more, the big men actually wrestled like big men.
I know. That's the other piece of news from this show is the fact that they put the TNT title on Luchasaurus, and
I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about Wardlow's booking, period.
Yeah, I feel like it's like they have these big guys, but they don't know what to do with them because you got Luchasaurus. I feel like they're trying to maybe stick him in a feud with Christian over the belt, and maybe like that's Christian's going to try to claim the TNT title from him. I feel like that's the story here.
I do too, and that'll be fun.
Yeah. Wardlow's already had 3 runs with this. He doesn't need any more. Lance Archer, that was a big waste.
Yeah, I don't know, man. As far as like the Wardlow and Luchasaurus one, I didn't know what the outcome would be, but I 100% knew that either way I was going to be, so now what? And this is no fault of the booking of this match. It's the fault of the booking previously, because this is basically a new Luchasaurus. We've seen this darker side of him, but they've given him more of a mystique. They've kind of caned him in a way. So
they're giving him the Kane treatment.
Yeah. And so like I was like, okay, if you have all this fucking build up for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then you beat him decisively, then what was it for? Yeah. On the flip side, if you beat Wardlow again? After not very long? The fuck is this? I knew going in I was going to enjoy the match, and I did, but like, there was no good outcome for both wrestlers. Like, I don't... Constructive criticism here. You shouldn't have gotten to this point to begin with.
Yeah, no shit.
But, that said, storyline-wise, let's say Wardlow did win. What do you got for him?
You really don't have much for him at this point.
No. Because, to me, the story is he beats MJF for the heavyweight championship.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to be in that picture.
Yeah, so what do you do with the TNT title? You know, I mean, he's got to drop it at some point because of that. All right, cool. Now, hypothetically, you do give it to Luchasaurus, which is what they did. What do you got for him?
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy, Christian, you know, there's some options there.
Yeah.
So,
all in all, though, a hell of a first show.
Oh yeah. No. That was a negative little spiel there, and I got another one revolving around the Owen Hart tournament, but not to sound negative, I thought that this was an incredible debut. Like, I loved it.
Same. And speaking about that hang up with the Owen Hart tournament, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to give some predictions. Not all matches, but like we'll cherry pick like the big ones we're excited about and give some predictions on those at Forbidden Door. You're listening to the Super Media Bros podcast on the OddPods Media Network. Don't go anywhere. If you haven't heard already, it's Smooth Sack Summer. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure that you're scaped from pubes to bum. That's right. This is the summer to keep your balls cool while still looking hot with Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming are making sure that we all have a ball this summer by giving our pants partners everything they need to stay fresh. Dive headfirst into Smooth Sack Summer by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything that you need to prepare your summer bod, including their Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer. It features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Did I mention the trimmer's waterproof too? Beach, lake, or shower, the razor's going to devour even the strongest of pubes. And now that you have the perfect haircut, use Manscaped's liquid formulations to keep that freshness even at the hottest summer barbecues. Most importantly, use the Crop Preserver ball deodorant to stay cool in the heat. It's got a soothing aloe vera formula, and it's the best in the business for below-the-waist freshness. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to this Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. And look, if you're wearing sandals with some nasty toenails during the summer months, you need to take a look at the Shears 2.0. It's a luxury nail grooming kit. This kit includes stainless steel nail cutters, tweezers, and grooming scissors. With the Performance Package, your balls will be ready to impress, but make sure that you cover the rest with the Shears 2.0. Get 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's right, 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with the code SUPER at manscaped.com. It's Smooth Sack Summer, boys. Get on board or get left behind.
Hi, I'm Tina Jaramillo.
And I'm Hillary Doherty.
And we host the Muck Podcast, where we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics.
Hey, Tina, did you know that Elvis crashed the Nixon White House for the sole purpose of getting a DEA badge, and it worked?
What? Or how a gun control advocate senator out of California engaged in gun trafficking with notorious gang leader Shrimp Boy?
Shrimp Boy, I remember him. Okay, so, we cover all of that and more from maladies, madness, mischief, and murder in U.S. politics.
And we also host a bi-weekly interview segment called Lil Muck.
We interview politicians, journalists, activists, and others who share their experiences in politics.
Find the Muck Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on social media at the Muck Podcast.
So we're back, and we're going to talk about a few matches that we're looking forward to at Forbidden Door. I guess we should go ahead and address the fucking elephant in the room. For a lot of years, we have been getting teased with the possibility of CM Punk and Kenta working a match together because they both use the same move, and that's been the biggest point of contention. Now, I know why they did what they did with this, but I know you're pissed off. CM Punk should have had like a big marquee match on Forbidden Door, like, with one of the bigger stars from New Japan, which not saying that the man he's wrestling is not a big star, but
no, he's extremely talented. This is going to be a fire match.
Yes. But I'm very shocked that CM Punk is just lumped, and I'm not saying lumped in because I'm treating the Owen Hart Cup kind of like a King of the Ring thing here.
Yeah.
Does Punk need to be in the Owen?
Here's my thing. My issue is, yeah, that's true, but he did say before, I'm dedicating this next run to Brett. So it's like, okay.
I see that. But it just feels very last minute.
It feels
like
last minute.
Like Kenta bailed and was like, "There's not enough money," and like he didn't want it just given away all willy nilly like that. Apparently, but Punk is being paired with Satoshi Kojima.
Again, fire. And also one thing that you have to think about, Kenta was probably like, so I'm gonna lose to this guy in a first round of a tournament?
I don't think they were going to put him in the tournament with him. I think the reasoning it's in the tournament at all is because he didn't take the match.
Okay. Because that's how I interpreted it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nah, that you've got Austin takes the ball and goes home for wrestling Lesnar in a first round King of the Ring tournament. Yeah,
no. Okay. But my issue with it is not that Punk is in it. It's his first feud is supposedly going to be against Joe. Correct?
Right. Yes. You're ostensibly going to get that match in this tournament, though, because they're on the same side of the bracket.
And the semifinals.
I know. But that, instead of the finals, though, it's a good thing because now you're sitting there like, well, fuck. What if Punk doesn't win? What if and I said this, what if Punk and Joe are in the semifinals and Joe wins dirty?
And that's what I think will happen. My prediction is that Joe will win. I don't have a problem with that. I'm looking at it like, why the fuck put it as the final? Why would it be the semifinal?
Because I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be one of two outcomes.
Okay.
It's either gonna be Samoa Joe and Ricky Starks in the final, because they've already kind of had their shit, or it's gonna be CM Punk and Juice Robinson in the finals.
Both would be excellent. Okay.
That's what I'm going for.
Hypothetically speaking, if it were Joe versus Ricky and Punk are on the same sides here. So,
yeah.
If Joe cheated to beat Punk, then Punk could
cost him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I buy that. Still not what I would have done, but okay. And then to get Punk versus Juice, I mean, fuck, that's wonderful.
Yeah. That'd be a fire fucking match too.
I don't say it enough on the air, but I fucking love Juice Robinson.
I do too, man. I really do. I like him and Switchblade a lot together.
I love that Juice in the face, like his head and everything, he looks like a really tall midget. He amuses me. I like Juice.
Yeah, he's great, man. But obviously, I think Punk goes over in this for sure. There's 11 matches total on the card, but we'll get into every one of them when it comes around on the review next week. But I think the main matches that we're looking forward to, Omega and Ospreay, Danielson and Okada, MJF and Tanahashi,
wonderful.
And Sonata and Jack Perry, which I think, let's lead with this, because fucking Sonata straight up was just like, what is a Jungle Boy? He had no idea who this fucker is.
He fucking buried his ass.
He did. He was just like, I don't, like, why him? Pretty much. He was like, who is this guy? Why him? Why is he wrestling for my title? He was being dead ass too.
Dude, we've talked about this off the air. Jack Perry he has a chance. He can do it. But as of this current moment, you're so close, yet so far.
Maybe this match for Jack Perry is like Ospreay and Cassidy last year was, because last year, whenever Ospreay and Cassidy wrestled each other, that was the proof that Cassidy was not to be fucked with in the ring, is that he could go. And a lot of people doubted him, and that wound up being probably my second, third favorite match of the night on that card.
Well, the issue with Perry is not that he can't work. He's lacking everything else. I mean, think about it. For God's sake, even the whole little crowd chant that they do at the entrance, that wasn't even Jungle Boy's starting.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? Marco. Marco started that shit, not Jungle Boy. So, like, charisma-wise, the dude's dead as a doormat, you know? I mean, and so my problem is, whenever he was getting buried on Twitter, it's like, you lack so much charisma, you can't even be charismatic behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
Where you have ample time to go, shit, what do I want to say? It's not like you're caught off guard. You have time. Nothing. Not a word.
Sonata's going to beat that ass.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a match. It's going to be a good match.
Oh, it's going to be an excellent match.
But Sonata's going to whoop his fucking ass.
Now, it might not happen here. It may be at here. It may be All In. It may be at fucking Revolution. I don't know. But mark my fucking words, dude. Jungle Boy going to lose a big time match and turn heel. And he's going to beat the fuck out of Hook, and that's going to be the program.
See, and that's funny because I feel like Hook's going to turn heel on him in this match.
Either way, I do think that's
the program. And it's perfect. Yep. And the program being that Jack Perry doesn't have any friends that he can trust, and that he's got such a hang up on all his friends like turning on him.
See, and I feel like him not having any friends is the reason why he would turn heel, but
sure.
I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a great match. Fuck, dude. I just feel like of the 4 pillars, Jack's going to be the one left in the dust.
That sucks.
Yeah, because for as much as Sammy is a fucking shithead behind the scenes, it's like, just say that you're expecting a baby and the crowd they'll give you some good reception, you know?
Right.
You can at least talk.
It's true. Omega and Ospreay for the IWGP US Heavyweight title. It's time for Ospreay to win.
I've been saying the same thing, yes.
I love Omega. I will never.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Omega is at that point where he doesn't need a title, and he certainly doesn't need the wins. Like, he's become the guy where it's like, if you're having a match with Omega on a pay-per-view of this caliber, then you've made it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Same can be said with Will Ospreay, though.
Absolutely. My personal preference is Kenny, but storyline wise, no, it's gonna be Ospreay. And Ospreay, God, I've been so bummed that he's been regulated to a main event jobber in AEW. I really want him to get some wins.
It's time for that.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, even though I do have my preference here, Ospreay's the fucking man, dude.
Ospreay is the shit, dude. But with him and Aussie Open being a fucking stable, Jesus Christ.
Wonderful. It's incredible. What that man can do is just insane to me.
It's fire. If you don't believe us and you haven't seen it, I implore everybody to check out his match with Orange Cassidy from last year.
Yeah.
That was a prime example of something stateside that's good, because the majority of his work is in New Japan.
And not only that, but he has even stated that he was done with AEW because they were treating him like shit,
Yep.
So I think they're going to get a win here. Even though it's an NJPW championship going to an NJPW guy, it'll be a title changing hands, and I will say it every fucking year that they do this. I want one crossover title change. It's a big ask, I know, but isn't the point of this to not make it so predictable?
I mean, if you think about it, this kind of is a crossover title change. With Omega having wrestled at New Japan before, it makes sense, and I think that's the only reason why.
I know, but
you want like an AEW original to get a title that doesn't belong to this company, or vice versa.
Exactly. Like I said,
Tanahashi walks out with the AEW title. It's not going to happen, but
right,
that.
Something like that. A little bit of a cop out, but I would even be okay if somebody beats Orange for his title. I do not think it will happen, but I would be great with that. Again, bit of a cop out because it's the international title.
It's still an AEW championship.
Exactly.
I think we're both on the same wavelength here for Ospreay taking it this time.
Yes.
Okay. So
and good for him.
Yeah, exactly. Danielson and Okada.
Bruh, I don't
know. I want Okada to win. I'm being completely honest here. This, I guarantee you, Omega, Ospreay, Danielson and Okada, these are your 2 30-minute matches.
Oh, yeah,
I guarantee you, these are your 2 30-minute matches.
Dude, And this is not even fence sitting. I have zero preference. I'm just like,
I just want Okada like that. I'm gonna hard lean into him, even though I know I would be fine either fucking way.
dude, this is gonna be one of those matches where I'm like a little kid again, just sitting at the TV, cross-legged.
Neither of these men could have heel heat at all going in, even though Danielson is clearly the heel here. There are going to be so many professional wrestling, and I fucking emphasize professional wrestling fans
Mm-hmm.
in this arena at home watching this pay-per-view cheering both of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be incredible.
Because the caliber of respect that these two individuals command in our community is unparalleled. I'm leaning for Okada, even though I don't give a shit, really. I would like to see him pick it up. Because he tried to hit the Rainmaker on Danielson and it didn't fucking happen. Like he knock his fucking goat head off with that shit, probably.
Dude, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, me too. So I'll run the card down, and then we're gonna bounce out of here because like these are the matches you're looking at next week, and this is not even in the pay-per-view order that they're gonna go in, but this is what's listed: Athena and Billy Starks in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. That's on the dark, like that's the buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
Omega and Ospreay, Bryan Danielson and Okada, Sonata and Jack Perry, MJF and Tanahashi. The Suzuki Gods versus Sting, Darby Allin, and a mystery partner as of this recording has not been revealed, but there's a big rumor going around that it could be Goldberg.
As soon as they said that it was somebody of Jericho's past, I was like, that's the first name that I came to. I'm torn because, dude, for as long as you know me, you know that I'm a huge Goldberg mark. It was part of my childhood. You won't hear slander from me. But also, that was Goldberg of late 90s, early 2000s. I don't
Right. Well, look, if he comes out in the Santa sleigh garb, I'll give him a pass.
Look, I mean, I'm not going to gripe about seeing the man on my TV. There is a lot of novelty between seeing, number one, the kayfabe line blurring, but also Sting, Goldberg, and Jericho one last time in the ring with Darby Allin. I'm not complaining about that, but also it's like, please limit him.
Yeah, for sure. And that might be why, if it's him, that's why it's a 6-man.
Yeah.
The only other person I would have loved to have seen, even though he retired earlier this year, would have been Muta.
That would have been, yeah.
Seeing Great Muta one last time on an American pay-per-view would have been fucking fire. Then you got the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. Punk versus Kojima, Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr., Shibata, and Daniel Garcia for the International Championship. Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's World Title. And then Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler in a singles match. I've honestly got nothing to say about that one. That's a little random.
They just got to rack up some wins for Adam Cole.
True enough. But that's the card rundown for Forbidden Door, our predictions, and also our thoughts on Collision. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
I much rather this card than last year, and last year's was an absolute banger of a pay-per-view.
It's just that we didn't get what we were initially advertised.
Well, not even just that, but also I know that we are still getting the Forbidden Door concept as like, oh, well, some of the guys will tag team with each other and alongside blah, blah, blah. But this one does feel more like a two companies against each other. Again, they are teaming up in some matches.
Yeah, but most of these matches are absolutely one company versus the other company.
And that's what I would much, much, much rather.
Because there's only 2 tag matches.
Yeah. So that I'm really, really, really looking forward to it.
Same.
And again, if it is Goldberg, I'll still pop.
Good on them for it, honestly.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't need another Goldberg run.
yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. But I mean, we'll see next week. Like, we'll talk
Yeah.
about this next week. And if it is Goldberg, I am fully prepared to sit here for 20 minutes while Devin waxes poetic on that.
Hey, man, somebody's got to do it.
True enough, man. Visit supermediabrospodcast.com for past, present, and future episodes. Check out all the other shows on the OddPods Media Network by visiting oddpodsmedia.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, GoodPods, and Podchaser. Buy some merchandise. Go to the YouTube channel and watch our shit. We are almost to the partner program. Subscribe. Ready to bounce, homie? Sweet. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this week. Come back next week whenever we talk about Forbidden Door in its entirety and give our 2 cents on that son of a bitch. So until then, I'm Richie.
I'm Devin.
Shades on.
We're off.